realized that this was not for him. And he was at a relationship with his parents that he could talk to them about it and they were okay with him not being a doctor. What he did love was video games. I remember going over to his apartment. I can't even, I mean, guess how many hours I've spent in his apartment playing old PC games called Counter-Strike and StarCraft. I would say there's at least hundreds of hours at his apartment playing with him. And this is just the time I was playing with him. And but he loved computers. He wanted to do that, and so when he decided not to go to medical school or quit medical school, whatever, in a time when the internet was not as developed as it is now, he went out and bought books, physical books, about coding. Taught himself how to code. Without a college degree in any kind of computer science or any software things, he was able to land a job as a coder, as a developer. And then from that job moved on to what at that time was a very popular company called Yahoo. And after that, moved from Yahoo over to Google. And after Google decided that he was going to do something else because school wasn't good enough for him, so he decided to work at some startup or his own startup. I don't even know, because he just thought that what God was calling him to do, the potential of what God was calling him to do was much greater than the Google corporate whatever that he was in. Mike was someone who understood how God created him, understood what God was calling him to, understood the vision for his life, and it took him it was a little harder for him to get there. But he knew God made him for computers and for coding and stuff like that, and he pursued that, and he did that. I'll tell you about another person named Michelle. Michelle was a very quiet, sweet middle schooler, one of the nicest girls you ever meet. Very bubbly and very just pleasant, always smiling. But she grew up in an environment which was, I would say, quite cutthroat in the business world. Everyone around her goes into investment banking or finance or making a lot of money. Basically, the anti-Robin Hood, making the rich people richer. That's the slogan for the New York City area. Michelle, even I think even in middle school, knew that wasn't for her. And at one point, I remember her saying, that was not her personality anyway, but you can see that. But I remember at one point her saying something flat out, just saying, all I want to do is just be a mom. She wanted to stay home and not do all these things. And Michelle, I think, as she got older, she ended up marrying one of those people in finance, and hardworking, 80-hour kind of week thing. But she did end up just being a mom. She was a school teacher for a little while, but then she saw her primary role as staying home with kids and raising a family and being there for her kids. She did not go the way that most people around her were, which is just completely for their career and for the money, and she knew that God was calling her to it. And even though it was contrary to what everyone around her was telling her, she had the confidence to do that. The last kid I want to tell you about his name is actually Daniel. Daniel is standing behind me here. He's not the one on the right. He's in the middle. I mean, there's a police car in this picture. This is actually at our church, and the police for some reason showed up, and the other guy and I were joking with Daniel that the police were out to get him, which is completely a joke because Daniel was probably one of the best behaved kids you'll ever meet. One of the most humble, one of the most humble kids you'll ever meet. Always caring for others, always thinking about what other people need. Daniel's the kind of kid that if he sees a problem, he thinks about how he can fix it, behind the scenes, without anyone knowing. He's the one that will quietly set things up, whether it's the equipment or chairs or whatever, without and not want other people to even know that he's the one who did it. It's just an incredible humility and love for others. And Daniel didn't grow up to be a lawyer like his brother, or like some of the people around him, his closest friends, didn't do the doctor, lawyer, engineer, and scientist, whatever that many of his generation did. Instead, I think either right now or next year, he said he's going back to graduate school to get a degree so that he can be a school counselor. Not something that I think, a lot of Asian Americans dream about, working with teenagers. I guess I work with teenagers, but it's not common, right? Is that you want to be a school counselor, go to work at a high school or middle school, and talking to kids, and be a guidance counselor. But that's what he wants to do. That's his passion, his desire. And I know that by sharing about these kids, you can't really understand it the way I understand it, because I knew these kids as middle schoolers, as high schoolers, as young adults, and into their adult life. And so you can't really see it the way I see it, but I hope that by sharing this, you can see that wherever you are right now, there are things that God may be saying to you, and developing you, and growing in you, that may lead you towards what He's calling you to do, who He's calling you to be. It could be things that you're passionate about. It could be things that you care about. There are things that God may be growing in you right now, that He may be saying that this is who you are. This is who you were created to be. And I hope that you, as wherever you are right now at your age, you can think about what is God's vision for my life. And to think about that, and think about it again and again, and you may not, chances are you're not going to figure that out just right now. Maybe you will, but maybe you won't. But if you don't, I pray that that's something that you'll keep on thinking and thinking about. Who is it that God called me to be? What kind of person? What convictions? How does God call me to live? Because if you don't have that, if you don't know that, if you're not growing into knowing that, you will not have the confidence to do the thing, that kind of things that Daniel did. Daniel was able to do this because he knew, he was determined not to defile himself, because he knew what God was calling him to do. And I hope that you, whatever God may call you to do, you might have that same confidence. Even though that may change over time as you grow and develop. And I would say also, even in your relationship with your parents, their vision for you may also be part of the process of changing and growing. They may think, for example, when you're 10 years old, or when you're 15 years old, or 20 years old, God may also teach them things about who you are, who you're growing to be. Let's pray. Lord, I to thank you for just a beautiful story and passage about a young man in a challenging situation who was convicted about who you called him to be. Lord, I pray that as we think about our lives and think about